Danielle, welcome.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's great to have you here for the Design Summit here in London. I want to hear about Nevern Square, so describe this project for me.
Well, I would say, what would you say to a young couple with a baby coming to you saying, we just purchased a 69 square meters flat and we'd like to have kitchen, dining, living, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a laundry, a studio, a utility, and a lot of storage. And
in 69 meters, square meters.
Yeah, and still having it looking large and not fragmented.
And so you're tasked then with a rather massive interior architecture job. So what was your first step?
Well, the point is, I thought that the space should have been restructured entirely in terms of how space could have been organized. And they asked me literally 11 dedicated areas and still having the space looking very spacious. So what we had to do, we had to strip out everything, essentially, even demolishing everything, and we still had 4 stories about to support. So we had to rebuild structure to support 17 tons roughly. And but the problem is that we had one side quite solid wall made of bricks and nothing on the other side. So we had to build L-shaped structure sitting on neighbors' walls below. So you can imagine in a sort of mansion block. And that was done in less than 6 months. And then we rebuilt entirely the interiors. The key fact was to make spaces communicating, was to somehow to think about a key fixture, which was at the end a large window between the living and the sleeping spaces, if you want. So the space is characterized, but what we did, we tried to recover the original Edwardian layout with one big room at the front, one at the rear. And the front room would have been for living spaces like kitchen, dining, and living all together, but somehow in a discrete way, where the kitchen doesn't seem completely a kitchen and is well integrated with the other spaces. And the bedroom is on the other side of the glass, if you want, or the window. And they see each other, but you also have a concealed screening system which can somehow hide each other's space when they're in one or the other. The whole thing actually made the flat a proper apartment or a house, if you want, because increased double the depth, the visual depth. So while you are in the daytime living spaces, you can see through the master bedroom, the light on the other side. The key point also, I mean, the real fact is that also from a sustainability point of view, this allowed a very sensible use of the natural daylight, because in the morning the light is on the daytime spaces. We couldn't rotate the mansion block, unfortunately, but so it's on the daytime side. And in the afternoon is where the bedroom is. So in opening a large window inside, internal, we had natural light flooding the apartment throughout the whole day. So this allowed a quite substantial energy saving overall. And this is somehow the kitchen itself. So the kitchen is like a diaphragm, like a sort of membrane between day and night. And this is how space were organized.
When you were approached by the client with this job, which sounds like a pretty huge design challenge to try and achieve that many rooms, you said 11 rooms.
Well, 11 dedicated
spaces.
areas they asked, but you know.
I mean, it's a huge thing to do. They obviously were very motivated to achieve something like this. What did you suddenly just go, oh, we can't do this? How did you get yourself as a team over the line as a firm?
That's a good point. I tried to resist myself to send them back, saying, well, it's impossible. And I tried to think. Of course, I'm an open space lover, so I thought, okay, maybe if we can open the space so much so that allows to somehow have multiple function spaces interacting with each other, but somehow looking also very pleasant to be lived and seen. And this was great. Another factor was they had a baby, and they actually came to my office with the baby and saying, yeah, that's our joy, and we'd love to see her playing or keep an eye on her while she's moving around the house. And I thought, okay, you want 11 dedicated rooms, 69 square meters, you want to keep an eye on her while she can hide everywhere. So that's why I also thought to raise the master bedroom on a podium, sort of, so that baby could have been visible from the daytime while she was playing on the bed, on around, because the house is not huge, as you can imagine. And that's fantastic also because they ask for a study area, which I position in the master bedroom. Now, this could be a controversial and discussed point, but that was the only space available, first of all. Second, it's not a place for working. It's more to put a laptop, to have some leisure time, to spend some time also there. And that's also where her baby also plays, they stay around. So it was fantastic for them having the space so much open to also keep an eye on their baby and themselves, each other. Because you can imagine you have one of them maybe is still sleeping or waking up late morning Saturday, and the other one is preparing breakfast, and then or exchanging each other is a different kind of living. Yeah.
So what did you therefore have to do within your firm, within your team, to sort of to achieve this? As I said, it was a big challenge to get these 11 different spaces. So for you to I suppose accelerate the goals of what your business is up to, what did you have to do sort of to redesign how you work, how you operate?
Well, first I took inspiration from, as I said, from the sort of bit British idea of having two large rooms. I couldn't have had one single room, okay, but two were fine to define the two main areas of the house. And then I thought to restructure the space, not just in terms of fitting out, but doing a proper architecture of the interior somehow, and also involving structures and retrofitting and everything. And so the concept, the geometrical, if you want, concept, was essential for that. So we studied quite a lot. The space is 3.8 meters high. Yeah. So it's not conventional for such small flat. That was more for like a raised ground floor of a proper house, and in a period house, if you want. And but then we use the whole height. So somehow we cross and intersect the space. Is also vertical in sections somehow to make them working. So you can go up on the podium, having the podium working like a storage, having additional storage above, and seeing through the other space, and somehow the space was positive and negative were used will mix each other somehow in a quite good balance. There's no centimeter left or wasted for boxing or.
I love that. Can I move in?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the client's there, aren't they?
Yeah.
What do they think? How do they feel?
They're fantastically happy. I have to be honest. One of the challenges was also at the very beginning to somehow convince them that a window in between daytime and sleeping space would have been okay, kind of okay. Because they said, the glass is such a large opening, we should screen that, we don't have privacy. How do we deal with that? I thought, yeah, we can go with a sort of frosted kind of glass, or quartz glass, but that wouldn't perfectly work because it seems always a little bit foggy, if you want. So we went for a sort of concealed Venetian blind system into the upper cupper, suspended cupper, and they were so happy. Actually, this system, when it's down and oriented, allows also to have even more light on the kitchen worktop while they're working on that, because the light, especially in the afternoon when they prepare food for the evening, comes from the bedroom and completely lit also the plants. Because, by the way, on the worktop of the kitchen, we excavated a sort of ditch to have some herbs, fresh herbs for cooking. So it's a proper kitchen. And there's another particular fact is that to have so much space available in such a small kitchen, we hid all the small appliances you can buy on a Saturday in a store, like kettle, boiler, toaster, coffee machine, not fully built in, into cupboards with the sockets. So it's all pretty tidy and available for food preparation.
Minimal, fantastic. Nevern Square. Thank you so much, Daniele Petteno. Appreciate it.